So, hi Facebook. Hi Facebook. I'm here in Pennsylvania with none other than Britain's beekeeper. So here goes. So, welcome to America. Is this your first visit here?
Yes, I first visit since I get my British passport.
And how are you liking this?
Excellent, excellent.
So, in comparison, which would you prefer? Do you prefer America or Britain?
Well, Britain, I can't give against Britain because
Right.
Britain, you get free health, free medication, and a lot of help in the UK. So I wouldn't give it away for another country.
Tell it. Tell it. Hear that, America. You need to do more for your people. Alrighty. So, how is it going with your bees?
Well, my bees, I am a beekeeper, and the echo give me the name as the bee whisperer.
Yes.
So I work with the bees, no gloves, no mask, and that's why they give me that name as the bee whisperer.
And you guys have to check out his video on YouTube about the bee whisperer. So did you start that in Britain or did you start that in your homeland?
Well, when I was a little child in Jamaica, I used to love bees. So whenever time I see bees, most likely they live in trees in the hollow. I used to sit and watch them going in and coming in, no fuss, no fight. And after that I get to find out that my grandfather used to keep bees. So it looks like it was in my blood.
Oh, wow. So your grandfather used to have hives as well?
Yes, he used to keep bees, but I didn't know my grandfather, but I just come up and love bees. So I met a guy in Jamaica that he used to cut the tree down, take the honey and leave the bees on the ground. So I said to him one day, see, I find out that you always take the honey and leave the bees. So I'm going to carry you anywhere you want to go. And you take the honey and you help me to put the bees in a box, and then I will take the bees. I don't want none of your honey. So,
Wow.
So the first year I take home about 10 hive of bees. So I didn't know much about bees at that time. So most likely some of them we didn't get any queen. So the next year the said guy had to come to me to get some honey. So I told him, see, if you love bees, you have to love, if you love honey, you have to love bees. And then he started to keep bees for himself. So I didn't know much until when I go to the UK, I could do a course and work with the British Beekeepers Association and learn a lot about the bees. And the bees become my pet. I love bees.
Oh, wow. So, question, how important is the queen to the production of honey and the hive in itself?
Well, the queen is in control. She controls the colony. She is the one that lay out bees, work with the queen. So the queen is the main important lady inside the hive. The hive only have two set of bees, the girl and the boy. So the boy is the one that they call him the Jones. So the Jones is the one that made from an unfertilized egg, and the worker made from fertilized egg, and the queen from fertilized egg. So it's just the girl and the boy. But one of them is a queen, and that one is special. And the reason why that one is special is because they feed that one with royal jelly, and she become a queen. She looks different and she shaped different from the workers.
So question, is any of that royal jelly, any of that royal jelly get into the making of honey itself or not?
Well, I don't think that royal jelly made in the honey.
Okay.
But the honey, we get nectar, we get pollen, and we get propolis. So all of those inside the honey. So if you take the honey from the comb, you get pollen, nectar, and
Yeah. So, oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I go this way. Sorry. So, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry about that. I had to move away because we're sitting like right across. But yeah. So, what's the difference, do you think, between commercialized honey and honey that you receive from the hive itself?
Yeah.
Like, is there a difference in the consistency, the thickness of it, or the taste? Is there a...
most of the honey you buy in the shop like Tesco and all those stores is mixed honey. It's not pure honey. Honey cannot sell for those price, £2, £3. It cannot sell for that price. So most of those honey that you buy in the shop is not honey. It have some of them have corn syrup, some have sugar syrup, or
What?
some kind of syrup to make it. But the honey that I sell to people is natural raw honey.
And that one, that's I remembered back home tasting some of your honey, and yeah, it does taste different. So remember back home, I tasted some of that honey, but yeah, but I honestly didn't realize that honey, store-bought honey, actually has corn syrup in it. But it makes sense. Is this why sometimes after you've had honey for a while that you would see the sediments at the bottom? It gets hard.
Anytime you see, all honey can set
Right.
and become solid. But if you see half of the honey set and half is honey, that's mixed honey.
Oh,
You understand?
so
So
now
even in Jamaica, most people, they buy honey from the beekeeper and they go home and they get one, like them have one drum of honey, they turn it into 2 drum of honey to make money. So even in Jamaica, people do it. But most likely, I try to produce the best to sell to people that they can get the right honey.
And I've read that honey is the only food that cannot spoil, so it can actually last for years, hundreds of years. Is that so?
It can spoil.
It can?
If it's in a small, if you have a jar of honey and you use half and leave it in the bottle with half, it can spoil. It can ferment. But if you have a full jar of honey, it can stay for 100 years and still good.
Okay, so I'm glad. Thank you for correcting that myth, or just letting me know what the facts are where that is concerned. And I'm sure everyone else, you're learning about honey, and so when we go to the store and knowing what to do with our jars of honey once we start using it. So can we refrigerate it once we start using it or not?
It's best to keep it in a warm place.
Oh, okay.
That it don't become solid. And everything the bees possess is medicine. Even the sting from the bees is medicine.
Really?
Yes, if you go on Google and put in bees venom, you realize that it's good for arthritis and,
really?
and rheumatism pain. And
Oh,
the
okay.
British Beekeepers Association, they're doing a research now, it might help Alzheimer's disease.
Oh, really?
I cure more than 100 people in the UK with hay fever. The only cure for hay fever is the pollen from the bees.
Really?
Yes. When you have hay fever, you're allergic
Yes.
to the pollen around you.
Yes.
We collect the pollen from the bees and give people, and they become allergic, not allergic anymore.
Oh my
So that's
goodness.
the only cure for hay fever.
You're hearing it here first. You're hearing it right here, live and direct. Okay, this is fantastic. So what else? What other gems do you have to share with us about honey or the bees? Some people are afraid of bees. Some people are allergic. If they get stung by bees. So, what do you have to say? What do you have to say about that? What would your advice be?
If a bee don't sting you, you don't know if he's allergic. So
that would be true.
So if you get stung, then you can know that he's allergic to bees if he is allergic.
Right. And so okay. So should we revere the bee then? Should we be concerned? Should we not kill bees? Should we try to? I was hearing from the beekeeper. So what do we? How do we go about preserving our bees?
Well, right now the bees is in the endangered species list.
That's what I've
You
read.
understand? And if the bees die, we die. And 60% of the food that we eat have to be pollinated, like apple, pear, plum, and lots of other food. So if the bees is the best pollinator, and the reason why, when the bees go out to pollinate, they go from pear to pear, and that's the right pollination. You understand? But if you go from apple to pear to plum, that's not pollination. So you have other insects like bumblebees and solitary bees. When they go out, they go from apple to pear to plum. But when the bees go out, if they're working on apple, it's just apple to apple to apple, and that's the right pollination. So they are the best pollinator on earth.
Right. So they're not doing like cross pollination. I got you. Hello, Alvin. Hello, Marl. Yeah, so Marie, hey Marie, how are you? Yeah, but it's not just fruit trees or food, but also like regular trees, because we need trees, because the older trees, they give us oxygen, and so we do need the bees because they also pollinate trees, so that we have, even with forests and the more green spaces that we have, our bees do play a large part in that. So yeah, so we'll continue doing, you think?
Well, human should live much closer to trees, because tree is the manufacturer for oxygen, and tree, what we breathe out that is CO2. I wouldn't call it bad gas, but it's CO2.
Yes.
When we breathe out
Carbon
CO2,
dioxide.
that's what the tree needs.
Yes.
It takes it in and let out oxygen for us. So that's why every day I get up, I try to plant something.
Oh wow.
Yes, so because we should live much closer to trees and plants as what we are doing.
I'm glad to hear that. Actually, I wrote a book, As the Days of Trees, So Are We, which is a blessing from the Bible, but that's the title of the book. And I do discuss some of these things about our trees in there. So it's good to really know that here you are, all the way from across the pond, and I have this opportunity to interview you. By the way, this Mr. Chang is the uncle of my firstborn. Can I put you on there now? Okay. So come. He's going to hold up one of the T-shirts from his uncle's production. So I'd like you to see that now. So here we go. That's the Bee Whisperer, and he is Mr. Barry Chang. His given name is Harold Chang, but we know him as Barry. and this gentleman, hey Dandy, if you see this, and lots of folks who know him know that he's doing something that is really beneficial for humanity. I mean, we go about talking about saving, you know, the world because it's falling to pots, but you do, and I'm interviewing him because I want to show that one person can make a difference. And so he's doing his part. And if all of us do something to help, then of course we'll be much better off. So I want to thank you. Any parting words? What, anything you want to close out with? Any closing thoughts?
Yes.
Yes.
What I would like to say is that everyone should try to do something for the betterment of the bees, the world, and the environment. And God bless you.
God bless you, and thank you. And I just want to show some folks some trees that where we are, you can see some trees right now. Well, we'll catch up again. Thank you for tuning in. Catch up with you.